What's going on, y'all? Hey, this shit getting out of hand, man, and we got to talk about it. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Press FC. This is Ralph. Y'all, I just wanted to give y'all a rundown of the Arsenal game today. Arsenal faced Borussia Dortmund today, and the score came out to about 3-2. We were totally and utterly dominated, and it's actually frustrating. But the person I'm frustrated with the most today is not even our defense, right? Because we know our defense is depleted and so on and so forth. But if we're going to rely on Victor Gyökeres going into the final, into the next season, we have no chance to win the UEFA Champions League. That's our goal. That's what we're trying to achieve. We've already won the Premier League. And of course, it'll be nice to repeat. But the goal right now, the top priority, is to end that. Oh, you'll champions of Europe, you'll never be that. The goal is to end that, and I don't believe, from what I've seen from Victor Gyökeres, that we can end that with that level of performance. It's actually shocking seeing some of the runs that Victor made today, seeing his inability to control the ball in certain areas today, seeing him receive clear-cut chances from Dowman and laying it on a silver platter, and all he has to do is at least get it on target, and the guy can't even get the shot on target, y'all. Um, it's frustrating, man, because obviously last year it was his first year in the season, so being a fan of the club, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I already saw a lot of the things that I'm expressing today, but I wanted to give this guy the benefit of the doubt because as Arsenal fans, it's always been the culture that we just support the guy until he, fucks up or until he makes a mistake somewhere and so on and so forth. But it's gotten to the point for me, for Victor Gyökeres, that I simply cannot defend the guy anymore. I know this YouTube channel is new, but for most of my time as an Arsenal fan in the last year, I've spent it defending Victor. I've said, hey, this guy's not getting enough service. He makes the run, he presses, he does all these different things. But at the end of the day, dude, we didn't bring you here to press. We didn't bring you here to win duels, my nigga. We brought you here to put the fucking ball in the back of the fucking net. And right now, you're not really performing to the level that we need to. I can't look at Victor today and say, I'm going to rely on this guy to bring us to the Champions League. And that brings us back to our performance in the market. I know we've got a guy like Bruno in now, right? We've got a guy like Bruno in, and of course he's going to change things. He's going to pass balls forward. He's going to be able to break down a lot of low blocks and so on and so forth. But if Victor's the one getting on the end of the ball, you might as well just, you know what I'm saying, just know it's not going in. You know what I'm saying? Victor doesn't have a killer instinct. Even when he takes a shot, there's like a hesitancy before he actually pulls the trigger that allows the defender to come back from 5 steps behind him and freaking block the ball. It's getting ridiculous, man. And I know it's just a preseason game, and I don't want to sit here and overreact, but we've seen this all throughout last season from Victor. We've seen it where he only scores against teams that, we don't really care. We don't really need his goals against. He in the big games, he shies away. He might be able to do some of the physical battling and things of that sort, but there's never been a big game where I can look at Victor and say, hey, this guy came through for us. And you're not going to win a Champions League unless you have one of those guys. Like we've come up short many times because we don't have the guys to finish the goals. You look at PSG 2 years ago. We created so many chances. We should have beaten PSG on their way to facing Inter Milan in the finals. That should have been our first year winning the Champions League. But guess what? We didn't have a striker. We didn't have someone that could put the ball in the back of the net despite all of the chances we created, right? We go out, we get Victor. The following season, the exact same thing. Victor doesn't even start in the UEFA Champions League finals. Kai Havertz does. So when you look at it in a nutshell, y'all, in terms of our front line, we still have the same front line from 3 seasons ago, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, we have a less capable front line than 3 seasons ago because Victor's not going to be the difference maker in the UEFA Champions League. And I like Solis, but he hasn't proven to me that he's better than Trossard yet. So until he proves to me that he's better than Trossard, I can't even really put him up there either. So that essentially says that last year we had a much, well, 2 years ago, we had a much better team than today, at least in terms of our attacking, right? In terms of our front three. And it's like we're taking steps forward in the midfield and in the defense, but then in the offense, in the attack, we're taking steps backward. And it's getting to a point now in the transfer window where it's becoming a little bit concerning because after missing out on Vinicius, you want to bring someone in. And we're not going to find someone at the left wing that's at Vinicius level, right? Because the guy's probably the best winger or left winger there is in the world, right? But we can find someone that's going to be able to compete with Solis and going to be able to compete with Martinelli. And hopefully they move Martinelli central, by the way, but that's a whole different conversation. But hopefully we can find someone to compete with Solis and even be a starter ahead of Solis and push him to be better. And right now, we hear rumors of a $100 million player that we're looking at and things of that sort. I'm not following those rumors until something solid comes out, so I'll just leave it at that. But we need to fill that left wing position. That left wing position has been the bane of our existence for the last 2 to 3 seasons. And every summer we go into the summer knowing that this is a position we need to fill, but for some reason we leave it until the last couple of weeks. I just don't get it. I know we needed a midfielder. Bringing Bruno in is amazing, but we need a left winger. We absolutely need a left winger. And so far, Solis has been playing good. I'm not going to, knock on the guy. He's pretty much had a goal contribution in every game he's played in, whether that was from the corner in the last game to the assist that he had today, as well as the penalty that he created. So all of those things are positive, but I have to see it in the Premier League to be able to, say that this guy's good enough and he's going to be able to be a proper replacement for Trossard. With that being said, I think today we saw that without Saliba and without, sort of our main defensive unit, with Saliba and Gabriel in there, I think we missed Timber today as well. So without our main defensive unit, we see that guys like Mosquera are still very raw. They're not at the level where, they're going to be able to compete on a weekly or twice a week basis, week in, week out, and be able to sort of hold the line. Mosquera pretty much fell asleep on that first goal. They rolled the ball right past him. Guy makes a run right across diagonally and just kind of shoots it in the back of the net. And it's not to say that Mosquera is not a great defender. I think we've all seen how he's demonstrated his ability to defend both at right back and at the center back position. So he's demonstrated that. He's shown what he can do. But I think what we need now is consistency. What we need now is those tiny little margins to be able to, get into that upper echelon and be able to compete with those guys like Salibas and the Gabriels of the world and so on and so forth. But y'all, I'll leave it at that, man. I think today was just, a sluggish performance due to the fact that it's still preseason. But as we get closer to that Premier League first game, these performances become more and more concerning. So with that being said, I'm not going to harp too much on today's performance, but I will say that we need to find a striker. Victor is not the guy. We need to find a striker. Victor is not the guy. And I don't want to hear none of y'all defending Victor in the comments, none of that shit, man. Like, he's just not the guy, y'all. And we just need to leave it at that and move forward and find a proper left winger and find a proper striker to back up Havertz and probably sell Victor, man. Like, yeah, shit ain't working out, man. And we trying to go into the upper echelon, you know what I'm saying? We trying to win the UEFA Champions League. We trying to do a double, a triple. We trying to be the next Man City. What you talking about? Like, we not trying to, like, be nice to guys because, they're strong and they try hard. Nah, that's cute, man, but we're not here for that. Like, we're past that stage. That was like 2016s and 17s and 14s, when we were in our banter era or whatever it is. But now, like, we the big dogs, and we need to sign up big dogs that are going to win us big championships. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave it at that. Like the channel, guys. I'm not asking y'all to subscribe. If you want to, please do. But right now, I'm just asking y'all to like the video so that more people see it. Thank you. Peace.